Welcome to the Daily Dish with Leanne Ely. This is a show about you, your life, and the vibrancy you want. Join us for daily motivation, wise women's tips, and more as we collectively gather together and move the needle in our lives, heart, mind, body, and soul. Now, here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
FriYAY! How are y'all doing? You ready for this? You ready to rock and roll? I sure am. I hate it when I can't see the top of my head. It makes me feel like my head's been cut off. Francesca, Noreen, in the house. Here comes some more. Jeanette, hello. Nice to see you. Diane, I'm delighted you're here. Thanks for showing up. And everybody else who are coming in, thanks for coming to our Friday Q&A. You got some good questions today. Hi, Joanne. I'm so glad you're here. I've got all my beverages lined up in a row. Does anybody else do this? Nancy, Helen, hello. I've got some Wise Women's Tea. You know that. Diane, did you see that? Diane, my darling Diane, you've got an email that you need to check from customer service. Just letting you know. Lynn's in the house. Corliss is in the house. Liz, I haven't seen you forever. I'm glad you're here. Patsy, Helen, Nancy. Look at our lovelies. There's my girl, Denise. Got the Pellegrino going. And I've got some hot melt mix in here. I always take the top off. I don't know. Drinking out of these little holes, you know, that sometimes ends in disaster. I end up wearing it. I don't know about y'all, but it's true. Hi, Karen, Julie. Good to see you both. Now, those of you who are on our text list, which is right here, go to your phone and pull up the text message and put this phone number in, 855-960-3720. Then in that message, you put the word join, and then you'll get a message from us, and then you just have to text to confirm, and boom, bada bing, bada boom, you're in. It took me a minute to figure out how to do all of that. That's why I'm getting so graphic and giving the down low on all of this. This little list of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Let me just tell you about it. Hey, Terry, let me tell you why you want to be on this list, okay? Because the winner of, we have Sleepies going on. You know all about Sleepies, right? Sleepies is our supplement of the week. Buy 3, get 1 free. That's a great deal. But if you are buying this and you're a part of our text message link, this could be, I know this is not very sexy and glamorous, but let me just tell you, yes, it is. Do you see this silkiness going like this? This is mine. You get 2 of these. This is a satin pillowcase that I personally use. And I'm telling you, this is what the winner's going to get from that. Only for our text message, folks. I'm just saying. Hello, Doris. Hello, MJ, also known as Marguerite. I'm so glad you're here. Who doesn't want satiny, silky pillowcases? This helps to diminish wrinkles, and it's so soft and lovely to sleep on. I'm sorry, I love mine. That's what I sleep on. Hey there, Juanita. Happy FriYAY to you. Good to see you. That's what that's all about. So you know what? It's not just pillowcases that we're all about, but this little list of mine right here, this little tiny text message list, this is where all the action is. This is where the best deals are. If you loved the gala, if you loved everything, then you know that's how that whole works. Also, this is our quote of the week. Suffering is universal. Victimhood is optional. And that's from Dr. Edith Eger, who wrote this great book called The 12 Gifts. And she was a concentration camp victim. So can I just say that anybody who's been through this knows exactly what they're talking about? She chose a different path, and she made a different life for herself. One that is just brilliant, a brilliant New York Times bestselling author, a psychologist, and she changed her life, and she changed the world around her. That's what we're all supposed to be doing. There's my girl Terry in the house. Yeah, I know that book. Did you put it on your list? I hope so. So it's a fabulous book and a very quick read, by the way. A quick read and a lot of takeaways, because, we need to learn from those who've been before us. We think of our circumstances as being highly treacherous and awful and traumatic and all of that, and not to diminish your pain at all, please. But when you hear from someone who's giving you advice, who survived Nazi Germany's concentration camps, well, that's someone we're going to pay attention to, right? Hello, Karen. I'm glad you're here. I've got your questions too. I've got everybody's questions. We're going to go through them. Also, I want you to know that, do you see this little bottle of garlic lime chicken, right? I made this up and put on one of our labels that come with the Ultimate Mix book, 90 recipes with spice blends and muffin blends and all this. And it is an absolutely incredible deal. And we're getting low. Just heads up. This is something that we did specially for Christmas. You get the labels, you get the book, and then you can make them all up. And what a great gift. savingdinner.com/mixbook to go get it. Julie, the name of the book is The 12 Gifts. The 12 Gifts. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? Who else just walked in? I see my girl, Angie. I'm glad you're here. All right, so I told you about all of that. Oh, you're also getting emails from us right now. We have a small little series of emails, so it's a little extra. Don't be hating. I think it's called the 12 Gifts, isn't it? It's called, you're right. It is the gift, 12 lessons to save your life. That's what it is. You are right. You are right. Thank you, Juanita, for that. And it's Dr. Egger. If you look at it, she's got another book too. She's got 2 different books there. I can't remember what all of them are, but they are, and the choice. Yes, there you go. We have it. Use our link. Use our link. That makes us happy. What else was I going to tell you? Oh, yes. So check this little thing out. You're probably going, what is that? So, our skincare line just expanded like more than double. We used to have the little skincare trio. Now we have like 8 different products. And then we had the vitamin C plus E. And now we have other things, including a phenomenal face wash that I absolutely adore. Here's the deal. Hey, Lisa, Jama. If you take 10 squirts, put it in there of our skincare, of our balanced cleanser is the name of it. Hi, Kimberline. And you see where it says water? Then you put water up to that line. Then you go crazy like you're churning butter. Now it's going to make squeaky noises. It makes this incredible fluff that you get to cream on your face. And you also almost look like a guy ready to, give a shave. But it just creamy and dreamy all over your face. You'll love it. It will extend the length of time that you get to use your face wash. I've been using mine for a long time with this incredible thing. You buy the entire line, we're going to send this for you. It's like a $9 value, absolutely free. Isn't that fun? You want one of these. Aren't they pretty? I love that. I love little stuff like this. Also, speaking of skincare, we're going to be sending you these now. We've got these whole skincare guide on how to use all of our products so that you don't say, is this out of order? Should I be using this? What do I do here? It's all here in this little pullout, and everybody will be getting one of these. And if you need some help, send an email to customer service and we can certainly send it to you. And I'm sure we have a PDF for that. Yeah, and of course Amber did this. I mean, who else does all this incredible work here? That's our girl, Amber. She does great things. What am I missing? Am I missing something? Q&A is not next Friday, by the way. Next Friday is Christmas Eve. Yeah, next Friday we will be in New York State with Mark's family, with his sister, staying with his sister. She has this phenomenal old house. It's huge and big and lovely, and there's going to be lots of family there. I'm looking forward to it. We're taking our first road trip with Lincoln in tow. It should be interesting. Anyway, yeah, pray for me. Traveling mercies and sanity mercies, eh? That will be happening next week. We won't miss a beat, though. We won't miss a beat. I will be doing everything by the car. I've got a little, hotspot thing. Do my show in the car. It's on. Game on. The only thing that I'm going to be blocking are our one-to-ones with any of our inner circle people. I'm just going to block my time out because I want you to have my full attention and, nobody else listening. I can handle Mark listening to me during the show, but not when I'm one-on-oneing with you. That's a private moment. So definitely make sure that you get your one-on-one, check this calendar and get yourself scheduled. Inner Circle, the last Inner Circle is tomorrow. You know what, Jeanette, didn't you just post a picture of your blue on a blankie just like my Lincoln? I think I saw that in passing. So I thought that was so cute. I posted a picture of him on my Facebook and basically said he was perfect because he is. And I will not hear anybody who says otherwise. That dog's amazing. Oh, Juanita, thank you. Yeah, this week's shows have been just like a real dig into our stuff, hasn't it? On Saturday, we're going to wrap this whole thing up with talking about, yeah, there you go. Blue is perfect. Yes, he is, just like my Linky. And we're going to be wrapping this whole thing up with a big bow of how we sort these feeling things. Because, you know, honestly, I will say this, if you get our newsletter, then you might want to collect those newsletter show notes from this week, especially if this is an area of struggle with you and you seem to keep going back to that same thing, those negative loops that we get into. I think it will help a lot. I think it will help put things into perspective, and it might be something that maybe you just put together or staple together and stick in your journal. And as you're going through that, you can maybe take a look at it because there's a lot of good stuff there. It was a big eye opener for me. I oftentimes choose my subjects, based on things that I am dealing with myself as a fellow human on this planet. We all have our little foibles and places in our heart that are tender. And that's one place that I have a tender place too. So I'm glad that. Thank you, Juanita, for telling me that. Really, that is a gift. I receive a PDF of images to use when giving your gift. Oh. You asked if oh, yes, that's right. We have gift certificates. You can find our gift certificates, by the way. We've had quite a few people order them. And what a great idea. And they're pretty and they're lovely. And, you could be proud to give them as a gift. And they have different denominations that you can choose. Go to savingdinner.com/gift. And if you're doing Christmas dinner and you need some help there, we've got everything there. Menus, recipes, timeline, the whole shooting match. That's at savingdinner.com/Christmas. Okay. Should we get to this? Got a lot. And I think, who is this? Karen, I'm going to take yours last because I think yours is the big, and I see that you're here, which is really great. Yours is the big one, right? Yours is the big one. Let's start with Rena. She says, thanks for all you've helped me with. Here are my questions. Why do nutrition labels say, for example, that 5 ounces has 5% salt and 10 ounces has 10% salt? Shouldn't the percentage be the same? Yes, they should be. That just goes to show you that sometimes labeling is just a crapshoot. Yeah, and every once in a while, a company gets called out for mislabeling their nutrition. And I always wonder, how are they doing this? Because you can find nutrition software anywhere on the internet and go ahead and put some stuff in there and see how it turns out. Sometimes it's different. I did that one time with, I think it was almond milk, and came back with all kinds of things. And it's just crazy. It's just really crazy. Who needs that? Hey, Lucy, I'm glad you're here. She said at the Bonanza, you talked about how Just Juice Veggies doesn't have alfalfa because it's not good for autoimmune or the thyroid. Why does the Vibrant Detox have alfalfa in it? We'll take a look at the ingredients. There's this much alfalfa in it, which is just a tiny bit. A little tiny bit of alfalfa will help with detoxing. Believe it or not, it's a really good detoxer. A lot of alfalfa, not so much. And if you look in these greens formulas, these different stuff that's out there, the first thing on there is alfalfa grass. So it has some good fiber in it and everything, but an overload of it, no, we're not horses. We don't need that much. That's why. So that little bit in there, it's barely a boop in, a blip on the radar. How does the hot milk mix fit into A, that we need to take CalMag in a 1-to-1 ratio since it's not, and B, the amounts aren't the amounts over needed to take daily? Well, first things first, they're different. You've got calcium citrate, which is what we use in our formula, our CalMag formulas, calcium citrate and magnesium citrate, which are both highly absorbable, versus you've got these BHBs, salts. They're ketone salts. That's in here. And a BHB ketone salts, it's beta hydroxy butyrate. Okay. It's processed completely different, and it's utilized by the body completely different. It's utilized for energy, and it's utilized for burning fat, maintaining muscle. The reason it's used for energy, by the way, is, and it's really important, that if you are in fat burning mode, meaning that you've drained out all of the glycogen that's hidden in your liver and also hidden throughout your body in your other organs and in your tissues or whatever, got to get it all out first. And then you will switch fuel sources in your body. And what happens then is you have this exhaustion, and it's just mineral salts is what this is, make a difference in helping you with the dehydration factor. And there's electrolytes in there, of course, maintaining the sodium pump that's in your body. And there's a sodium potassium pump, and as that equalizes, you feel better. And that's what this whole thing is about. And let me just tell you, if you've used our hot melt mix, which is incredible, and you've ever been in a place of feeling just exhausted, or just like you're dehydrated a little bit, or even more importantly, you're switching over fuel sources and you are changing into becoming a fat burner instead of a sugar burner. Well, there's this thing called the low carb flu, and that's exactly what this helps with. So this process is a whole lot different. It doesn't get stored the way that our CalMag does. I hope that helps. This is from Lucy. Hello, Lucy, by the way. I already said that, but hello. On sodium isn't showing percentage of daily recommended amounts. Oh, Juanita. Yeah, I mean, they do it based, they give you the daily amounts, but it's also what's in it. They're giving you the what's in it. Okay, so this is a really good question from Lucy, and it's also would really make a good topic for us to discuss sometime. Probably I will do that, because she's asking about ashwagandha, and ashwagandha is, and I'm probably saying it wrong. I always say these long ass words wrong. I do blah, 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 blah. But anyway, you know what it is? It's called an adaptogen, meaning that it adapts to what you need in your body. So she asked, short and sweet, what are your thoughts on ashwagandha? How do you spell it? Well, you spelled it right. ASHWAGANDHA. It's like ash, wag, and ha. That's how you spell it. Will it help lower cortisol? Yes. Thanks for all your thoughts. I'm done. No, I'm just kidding. Let me just tell you a little bit about it, because I love this. It's an Indian ginseng is basically what it's called. And it's like a bush. It's a bush basically found in India, and it has all these different properties. Like I said, it's an adaptogen. So if you have like really, really high cortisol, it will help to tap that down. If you have high cholesterol, it will help to tap that down. It helps to regulate stress. It helps with anxiety, and it helps with muscle mass and fat loss. So it helps to boost fat loss and preserve muscle. It also helps with testosterone for men and for women. By the way, we need testosterone, girls. That's how we develop our muscles. It's what gives us energy and makes us strong. That doesn't necessarily mean we're going to grow beards and have hairy chests, okay? There's just a little bit of that we need to have in our lives. So it's also anti-inflammatory, which is a fabulous thing, and anti-aging. It helps us to fight depression. Can you imagine something that effective like that? Improves memory, cancer risk, and helps to lower blood sugar. So this is what an adaptogenic herb like ashwagandha does. It's amazing stuff. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. I think we will do something along those lines as we're going along. So there you go. This is from Laura. She says, "Hi, Leanne. I've been enjoying your daily dish show. My question is, why do I get bruises without having bumped into anything? I'm postmenopausal. My multivitamin has 40 milligrams of vitamin E, and I used to take an additional vitamin E, 134 milligrams daily, as I read it helped with hot flashes. But then I noticed bruising in various places on my arm or leg, so I cut back to the extra vitamin E every other day, but bruises still happening. Would skipping the extra E alleviate the bruising, or do the bruises have nothing to do with vitamin E? Does taking E really help lessen hot flashes? I think black cohosh is more effective for that. Vitamin E, vitamin A, and vitamin D all act like hormones, and yes, they do help. They do help. But my strong suggestion is build your collagen, because what it is thinning skin. As we get older, our skin naturally thins. And as we get old, that means that the dermis gets thinner like this. That means the blood vessels are closer. That means you're going to bruise easier. I've noticed that myself on my hands. I have like these very, my hands are taking a good bit of aging. I don't have any brown spots or anything like that. But if Lincoln bumps me with his massive tooth, he doesn't bite me, but if he bumps me with his massive tooth, ow, first, that hurt. And then sometimes I'll get a little blood spot. And that just started to happen in this last few months. And I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder what this is. But then I noticed, my son even said, Mom, your hand, the skin on your hands seems really thin. And I was like, but the skin on but then I had my dermatologist say that the skin on my face was nice and thick, like a younger woman. So, I'm waiting for my hands to catch up, but that's part of what it is. And vitamin E also acts like a blood thinner. So if you've got thin blood, thin skin, you're going to get bruised a whole heck of a lot easier. And usually what it is too, you don't just have like spontaneous bruising, and you need to be checked for that. Go see a doctor if it's just like spontaneous bruising, but just a little, tap here or bump there, hitting the countertop or something like that will bring it on. You're telling me your age simply because you're postmenopausal. And that's when it all happens. Postmenopause, our skin starts to thin. And that's why we want to have thicker skin. Thicker skin is everything. Build it with collagen. 2 ways to do that. 3 ways, really. One is perfect paleo protein daily, bone broth daily, and third one is take your beauty support daily. So I'm still waiting for it to kick into the hands. Yeah, hands really show your age, don't they? I saw some woman on, I don't remember where it was, but she was showing what she did to anti-age her hands, and it had to do with some kind of a thing where they're putting like injections into the veins and getting rid of these veins. And I thought, wow, why would I want to do that? How safe is that really? I just take it with a grain of salt and just hope and pray that, they'll catch up with the rest of me. I don't know. That's what I know about that. So vitamin E does help a little bit with, because it helps with your hormones to lessen hot flashes. But honestly, the best thing I think is black cohosh and a meditation practice. Because really what it is like, I have actually, once I started meditating, I breathed myself. I did box breathing to breathe myself through. I could feel a hot flash coming on. If you've had a hot flash, it sort of starts, and here comes the tidal wave. Zzz, just the heat. It's coming up. It's coming to get you, and you just don't want it to hit your face, because then it hits your face. You're sweating through. Your eyelashes are sweating, right? Your head is sweating, and you feel like it's so gross. It's just the worst thing. It kept me up all night. I got hot flashes really bad, but I also then started to realize that my stress level was pretty high too. I wasn't dealing with my stress well. So that's what that's all about. super helpful. Anybody, any kind of something that triggers something, that's letting us know that our body isn't handling this very well and that we can. Why is it that some women don't get hot flashes and some do? Well, I think a lot of it has to do with our stress levels. So let's make sure that that's something that we take care of. There goes Mark and Lincoln down to the lake for a little walkabout. This is from Francesca, and she says, is collagen best absorbed in the presence of fat or water? Either or. The best way to absorb collagen, though, is vitamin C and zinc are two of the top ways of absorbing that. It's highly absorbable anyway because it's hydrolyzed anyway. It's skin and bones. That's what you're eating. And so it's very highly absorbable anyway. One of the things that I have been doing, I actually wasn't going to tell you about this today, but I think I'm kind of getting to the place of being ready to tell you about it because it seems to be making a difference. And that is that I have been, my normal anywhere from 14 to 18 hour fast after dinner and then till the morning. But I've been having a scrambled egg, just one, as soon as I start to feel just a little bit of hunger, Sometimes I'll put a little salsa on it or some, Chipotle hot sauce or whatever, just cause. But it really seems to pull things down. And then I've been doing my smoothie around 3:00 in the afternoon of all times, 3:00 in the afternoon, and all of my supplements at the same time, because that's when I do it. It's made me feel better. And it's made me feel just a whole lot more in control. And it's given me a better setup for dinner. And then we always have an earlier dinner because then, I'm ready for it. So, and I've pruned my smoothie down to just the very basic things. I don't put all the things in like I was doing it before, just as an experiment. So, again, I will share all of the experiments that I'm doing. I'm getting ready to put the continuous glucose monitor on. I'm not going to do that now at Christmas time and New Year's, but I will have that on probably the 1st or 2nd of January, and I will let you know what my numbers are because I'm really interested in how all of this stuff works. Will we be getting any homework before the Vibrant 2022? Well, I'm glad you asked that because I forgot to mention that today. So if she's talking about our workshop that is on January 8th, Vibrant, you can find it at savingdinner.com/Vibrant 2022. And that is a big workshop that we are going to set ourselves up for a Vibrant 2022. Yes, there will be homework. You will be getting it within this next week. I'm still working on it because I'm working on the workshop right now and all the things that we want to do. Plus, I want you to start collecting newspapers if you want. You might even want to start cutting images out that mean something to you. You might want to cut out just different, words that light you up. It's really going to be something. And with the Vibrant 2022, you're also going to get an invitation and a bottle of our supplement, which I don't have right here because we're almost out. And that is the Vibrant Body Detox, which I'm very proud of because it is unlike what's out there on the market. It's not going to make you sick. It's not going to make you run home sick to your stomach and starving and all that other kind of stuff. It is everything. It's just going to make all the difference in the world. Yeah, it's going to make all the difference in the world for you as you it's just a support to help your body detox. So it's a great deal. And you get that with the Vibrant 2022, creating Vibrant 2022. So those of you who are signed up, watch your email. In the meantime, go ahead, start gathering magazines together and cutting out images. I've started doing that myself and putting them in an envelope so that we can create an amazing, vibrant vision board for 2022. Yeah. And Karen's asking, will you be able to watch the workshop at another time if you're not able to attend? 100% yes. And as a matter of fact, Karen, one of my big tips, which really, really helps, is when you're watching it, is to take notes, of course, but also you're going to want to put timestamps on different things. Like if you want to come back and re-listen to something, like you put a timestamp 1:22 or something, whatever it was, in 10 seconds, if that's what it was. We have a lot of people who do that because sometimes you just have to hear it more than one time. There will be handouts, of course. There's going to be all kinds of things. It is geared to support you. There's going to be teaching. There's going to be coaching. We'll be doing hot seats. Which is going to be fire, by the way. There's going to be we're going to be doing the vision work, the Vibrant Vision boards in the afternoon. And it's going to be an opportunity to get together and be together as a community. It's going to be pretty darned amazing. So I'm really excited about that. Joanne said, yes, time stamping was very helpful for you. It does. It works. It really worked out. You can do if you can't do the event, can you still do the detox? Yes, that will be available too. We will be putting that out shortly. And then we will start the detox on January 17th, I believe, or 18th. I don't remember. It's in my book. But we have a whole calendar for everything. We'll take you all the way through the process of everything. It'll be great. So if you've joined the Vibrant 2022, which I hope so, then definitely keep your eyeballs peeled for the news. Vanessa says, my girl Vanessa, I saw you get here, Vanessa. Here's my set of questions. First of all, she said, Merry, Merry Christmas, and 3 exclamation points. That makes me happy. Thanks, Vanessa. Merry Christmas to you. Here's my set of questions. What was the protocol or formula you recommended when we get sick? I think it was something like zinc every so many hours, vitamin C with quercetin or oil of oregano. And when it comes to the girls, would we do half of that or follow the same dosage, ages 10 and 12? So here's what I've got for you. You will see right here look at there it is. We have a Cootie Protocol. That's what we're calling the Cootie Protocol. You can go to savingdinner.com/Cootie. And that's where you can pick up the Cootie Protocol and all of that. In it, we have all the supplements that you need. We have every single jot, dot, and tittle in there. Of course, stay hydrated. Of course, get as much sleep as you possibly can, as much bone broth as you want. Stay fast if you want to. Don't fast if you want to. Whatever it is that you want to do. Totally up to you. But there it is. And Vanessa, you are the cause of this. Thank you. I think you've helped a lot of people today. This is something, listen, I have been doing our Cootie Protocol for eons. Mark started getting sick. I had him on this and knocked it out. He had a nasty cough that hung around for so long that I made him go and take a COVID test. It came back negative and he was fine, but it was just a big cough that hung on. But truly, quercetin puts vitamin C on steroids. Garlic is as natural antibiotic, is nature's antibiotic, is what I call it. Oil of oregano, same kind of a deal. All of this stuff. Now, as far as your girls are concerned, ages 10 and 12, it depends on their size. If they're small, if they're little, you might want to go. It's Cootie, Cootie. Francesca, don't you know about cooties? Honey, come on, you're a teacher. You know about cooties. Ew, don't touch me, cooties. This is what my sister and I used to do in the back seat of the car. We'd have a piece of Kleenex, and I would put it on me, and I'd say, do not touch me. I don't want your cooties. How mature. There you go. Anyway, so just pull back. Yeah, okay. Pull back a little bit on it. Definitely, you do not want to overdose your kids at all. Use your mother's intuition. If you need to seek guidance from a qualified health care provider, I can't really give those kind of recommendations because I'm a mere nutritionist. However, what I will say is that, a little extra vitamin C when you're fighting something, hello. If they get a little bit of diarrhea or whatever, that's letting you know that you need to back away a little bit from the vitamin C. But just make sure that, children are not small adults. They are still growing. They're still processing and all of that. So we go a little bit lighter with children. I would just make sure they're getting it a few times a day, as opposed to maybe just once, a few times, 3 times a day, maybe. Okay. And then the other thing is make sure that they're very well hydrated, taking it easy, not overexerting, and sleeping as much as they possibly can. Remember that deep sleep is where the repair happens. And what we're trying to do is just merely assist our bodies. She said, when somebody takes a vitamin and their urine comes out neon green color, does that mean the vitamin is full of fake ingredients or it's not legit? It really depends, because a lot of times, yeah, even green, that could mean that it's just it's mostly a B vitamins. B2, I think, is one of them, and B12 that make up that color. And for some people, it's neon yellow. Some people get neon green for whatever reason. But it's just letting you know that, hey, those vitamin Bs are in there doing their thing. That's what that means. And, you know, if a vitamin has fake bad vitamin B versus good vitamin B, it's still going to come out the same way. So just check the label and, you know, use ours. You know that. I read different materials and articles like by Weston A. Price and others that talk about the harmful effects of fluoride in connection with Hashimoto's. I'm confused on whether we should stay away from it from our toothpaste or not. What do you think? Well, so big, you know, I used to get in trouble all the time with my dentist because I wouldn't let them do fluoride treatments on my kids. And they looked at me like, are you kidding me? The thing is with fluoride, if you take a look at what fluoride does, it does make things stronger, but it makes things brittle is the problem. That includes your bones, that includes your teeth. And so I don't look at it like that. What I look at instead is good, you know, good dental hygiene. I'm at odds with most dentists about that. My strong suggestion is that you do your own homework. Fluoride's very detrimental also to the thyroid. That's why Weston A. Price has all of that on his website. Fluoride is, you know, a waste product for the most part. And fluoride is, I just don't recommend it, you know. Personal opinion. I am not a doctor, nor am I a dentist. That is my caveat. So what I would do is, you know, I mean, how do you strengthen your kids' teeth? Well, guess what? Collagen, calcium, magnesium, all assorted minerals. Bone broth is really good. Using a good tooth, you know, tooth polish or whatever that you're going to be using. Basically, baking soda works really well. So does a little hydrogen peroxide and baking soda. I use, personally, what do I use? Oh, shoot. Well, I've used Welles's. I've used the gamut, all these different stuff. I mean, I really, at this point, it's just a matter of how long are you brushing your teeth for? Are you flossing? I mean, I floss twice a day. Did you know that your heart disease risk goes down by like 40% if you're flossing twice a day? I floss twice a day. You know, I floss twice a day. I brush my teeth 3 times a day. And I brush my teeth for 2 minutes each time. I think the toothpaste is less important than the actual brushing. I also use an Oral-B electric toothbrush. And I have a whole protocol. You know, I hold it and then I move it, you know, just so that it's going on. And then on the tops, right? And then behind, you know, and you know, since I started this protocol with my, and all kinds of different toothpastes, because nothing ever just, you know, lit me on fire as far as any kind of a toothpaste. My teeth, my dentist always said, ooh, nice, you know, your teeth are good and no pockets, none of that. I've never had any of that, thank the Lord. I haven't had it. I don't remember the last time I had a cavity, but, you know, I do all of these things. And once upon a time, when I was having problems, I had 2 root canals and I had them both pulled. I'm just going to be very clear with that. There's a whole controversy that goes with it. But I had it was the back tooth here. I had an infection all going down my jaw. and I just didn't feel well. I could hardly move. And they found that. And this root canal came from a holistic dentist who said, no. Because I asked him about all of this. Oh, these are the way I do it. And Kimberline, I was also going to say too, that I've oil pulled too. And I use, coconut oil when I do that. And it's just the nastiest thing. And you can do it for a long, long time. And then you want to spit that out and in the trash, man. You don't even want to put it down your sink because all the toxins and stuff come out. That's an Ayurvedic technique of oil pulling, just like ashwagandha. And I will say this, that those old ancestral things that have been passed down from generation to generation from people with beautiful teeth, pay attention to that. And be willing to say no. My dentist he looked at me like I had two heads when I refused for both kids. Refused. And both of them had good teeth. So I let Caroline use her binky so long that it made the arch of the roof of her mouth get very curved. That's not good. It's crowded all of her teeth. She had to have so many things happen. Poor thing. I mean, she had so many things happen. And including one tooth was stuck up in here that they had to, every spacer to make that room. And we had to crank up her palate, all kinds of stuff. Peter, I did not do that with. And he had beautiful teeth, straight teeth, no problems, no crowding, no nothing. No braces either. No binky. So just saying from my perspective. And also excellent nutrition. Your nutrition has to be on point. You can't give your kids garbage food and fast food and all of that kind of stuff and expect that they're going to have decent teeth. They won't. Because it just soft palate, all of that. You had a dentist sneak fluoride to one of your kids? Oh my gosh. I would be so angry. I would be so, yeah. Yeah, different. You think? Different dentist? Oh yeah. So everything that I'm saying is highly controversial. It's from my perspective and my point of view as a mother, as a nutritionist only. I am not a dentist, nor am I a doctor. I've had my own knockdown, drag out fights with my own dentists and my own doctors. But I stand my ground, and my proof is in the pudding. My teeth are good. My kids' teeth are good. I feel good about those decisions. You need to feel good about yours. And also, you don't go by, well, I heard, she said, I was listening to a podcast or whatever. Go get the book, read the book, find all of the links from the research that they used for it, get the research, read the research, highlight the research, then go to battle with your doctor. You have to come to this fight fully, full armor of God, full armor of knowledge as well, if that's how you're going to do it. She said, thank you and love you guys. Vanessa Piper and Trinity. Hello, kids. Say hi to everyone. I know, Kimberline, it's everywhere online. Just make sure it's from a credible source. I do like to go to PubMed. Go to PubMed to get your stuff because, sometimes following the money, you'll see stuff that's just a little sketchy in the name of research. So remember that. All right. Rena. Now, here comes Francesca's. This is great, and Karen's. I'm using Karen's as our last question because it so ties into everything that we've been talking about this week. And this has been, a heavy subject, if you will, and it's, I think, brought a lot of us to a place of, questioning our feelings and questioning the way we react and all of that. And she had some excellent questions. I love Karen because Karen's a doer. She gets things that she's in our inner circle as well. She gets things done, and she's in a row, and a super smart abstract thinker. And so she's trying to put this in the same category as what she's done with food and how she's put it all in a row. So just keep that in mind. Is that okay that I said that, Karen? Okay, so here's what she said. My questions are centered around the whole topic this week of both dealing with emotions and changing my mindset. The task of changing my mindset feels enormous. Okay, I'm going to mark things as I go. I love the resources you've mentioned. In the long run, I know I've changed a lot of my thoughts already in terms of how I feel about myself and my overall outlook. I swear by the 1952 book, The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. Great book, a classic. But in letting myself be quiet enough to hear what's behind everything in my mind, I'm seeing and hearing that my current narrative on the world in general is filled with anger and negativity. The dialogue in my head, my thoughts are self-defeating. My question is, in using the tools of meditation and journaling and gratitude and affirmations and mindfulness, do you have recommendations for taking these steps to take daily? And then she says, number 2, on the physical side, I've made a checklist for all things I want to be sure to include each day, including my water, supplements, HIIT, walking, PT exercises, strength training, servings of veggies, and now adding in meditation, journaling, and intentions, affirmations, etc. Is there something like that for mindset? Things to do, 5 things to build the new habit. So, there she is. There's Karen. This is so true, Karen. I think what you have written is for so many of us here. And pinkies up, right? If you're in agreement with Karen, because isn't it the truth? Because it's a challenge. It's a real challenge. And I just want to really kind of go to the whole genesis of where this stuff comes from in the first place. Well, first of all, we always have to recognize and know that the way we were raised, the people that we came from, our whole familial past and what have you, is foundational to who we all are. Every single solitary one of us. And I was reading some interesting things from my friend Sean Croxton, who I love and just super admire. He's been a dear friend of mine, and he was talking about people who have, and I can't remember who all these. Marie Forleo was one. He was talking about Gary V and somebody else, who are all 3 of them absolutely wildly successful online entrepreneurs, wildly successful. Each one of them talked about how they were raised with the confidence that their parents gave. Oh, and Brandon Burchard. And I know Brandon Burchard's mom is just one of the most lovely people you'll ever want to meet, and how she instilled this can-do attitude in him. And his dad was always, do your best, son, and always help others, and just all these things. And he talked about this, and he's talked about this in his talks on how that just really impressed him. Marie Forleo's mom says, and you've heard me say this before, everything is highly figure-outable. Well, her mom taught her that was her thing. Is like, you can figure this out. I had to figure it out. You can figure this out. You've got every resource that you need. It's already inside of you. And she took that as her mantra, and that became her thing. That's how she lived her life. Same with Gary V. Immigrant parents, and they didn't have much. He was teased from his accent, the whole bit. But it did not matter because his parents believed in him, what he could do, and what have you. So that's one big obstacle these folks didn't have to deal with. It made it easier for them, more simple for them, because it was part of their narrative. Now, I didn't have that narrative growing up. My narrative was people fight, there's alcohol, there's abuse involved, emotional, verbal, there's booze, there's, adultery, there's all kinds of garbage going on. That's what was in front of my little eyes when I was growing up. You carry the stuff with you. There was never enough, never enough money. My parents bickered about money. There was stuff. And I just remember as a child, and maybe you do too, that as a child, I kept a family secret that I didn't want my family to know anything about. I constantly compared myself from the time I can remember to other families, and they all seemed a whole lot happier. Why wasn't my family happy? Why couldn't, well, at least my parents were married, is part of my thinking process. So we start there because that is a load in and of itself, and it goes deep because it not only is your parents, it's their parents too. My parents were born in the 20s and the 30s, and their parents were born in the late 1800s, and 1900. And they went through depression and all that. So they can, the amount, the sins of the father are visited down on from generation to generation. That's in the Bible. And I believe that's exactly what it is. We don't get away unscathed. And even if we have this bright and shiny thing that I'm going to shoot for the moon, I'm going to defy all of this. And you hear these stories of people who grew up in absolute abject poverty with parents with needles in their arms and their mother's, a hooker and all of that. And yet they, persevered and became all of that. That's the rarity, right? That's the rarity. And all of us have whatever foundational thing that we have grown up in. We all do. We all do. Accept that. Accept that doesn't mean you need to accept it as part of who you are. You accept it as part of what happened. And when we make a decision, this serves me and this does not, that's when we start to make the separation between the goats and the sheep. We do. Because it was when I understood that I didn't have to have a relationship based on desperation and abandonment, because that's all my garbage. With Mark, I can tell you the exact room I was standing in, where he was. It was after an argument that we had. I didn't handle things well. I was a crying mess. But at that point, I had made a decision to risk letting go of something that I knew wasn't serving me, because I knew the pattern. I could see the pattern. And that's what we have to do. Is negativity has patterns, right? When you say that you have anger and negativity, anger of what? Negativity toward what? Is there a pattern there? And then we have to look at it and start to say, I need to unplug from this. I need to decide that this is no longer my function in the dysfunction. I'm not going to function in the dysfunction anymore. Right, Terry? 100%. We have this capability to analyze at any point. This is why I always say we cannot do this when we're emotionally wrought. We can't. We have to unplug from the emotion and analyze. Okay, I get negative and I get angry. Why? What's up? What's up with that? And let's look at what that is. What is all of that connected on? This is where I would journal. This negative thing came up. There's a pattern there. I promise you, you will find your pattern. And same with the anger. And the other thing is as we're thinking, there's only so much that we can do with the thought. Is this thought serving me? Is it? Is this thought going to lead me into the path of where I want to go? Because, and I will say this because I know Karen and she's an inner circle and we've had our one-on-one and everything. One of my coaching clients that I really admire in that she knows what works and what doesn't, and she does not want to pay the consequence for not eating the way that she needs to eat because of her health. It's just that way. Don't you wish we all had that instead of just, playing with fire all the time? Well, she knows if I do this, I'm playing with fire and I'm asking for it. Why don't we look at that as the same way with these thoughts? Because we have these thoughts, those thoughts beget other thoughts, remember in the Bible, so-and-so begat so-and-so, you read all the begats. I mean, we've got a list of begats. That's what it is with negative emotions. That's what it is with anger. They beget the things. They come out in ways that are not suitable for the woman that you want to be. You want to be the dream woman of your own dreams. You want to be the woman who reaches her full potential. Therefore, we have to be not dismissive of these things, but dismissive of what it's doing in our lives. Are you following me? Because when this stuff follows us into our life, it takes down the good that we've been building. You've built so much good too, by the way, Karen. I'm so proud of you. You've built so much good into your life. This is the stuff. This is the stuff that just needs a little bit of the breakdown. Okay, whoever you are, Roger. Anger erodes the container it's carried in. Amen, Andrea. That is so good. That is absolutely 100%. So then you asked me, yeah, I mean, your thoughts are self-defeating. I get that because our thoughts are self-defeating. But we have to, if we can parallel, let's parallel. If we can parallel what we would do with food so that we can have a positive life experience and not end up in bed and keep our weight where we want it and keep our energy and all the levels that we want it, we do the same thing with our thoughts. Because honestly, our thoughts are food for how we fuel our feelings, our emotions, our actions, our words. Same idea. So as we see them breaking down, as we see this coming up, it's just like, no, it's time to break that down. One of the things that I like to do, this is like when we're trying to teach ourselves something new, we need to address it. So kitchen's closed. There's one. Why? So we're tapping into our ear. We're doing something to startle ourselves, to wake ourselves up. So you might say, Karen, and remember your name above all names is what you hear. That's enough. That's enough. Doesn't serve me anymore. Instead, I'm going to think this and do a whole this, not that, kind of a thing or whatever. And just write these things out. The more pronounced that you do, instead of being vague about it, not that I'm not saying that you're being vague about it, but I understand the vagueness of how this stuff just kind of creeps in. Make it so much more of a dichotomy. There's this and then there's that. And make it just go whoosh. It's just like the Red Sea. And that's the way that there are. And yes, there are habit things that you can do for your mindset. Your meditation practice. Spend your time in meditation. Boom. Right? Awareness is the first step. Exactly, Karen. Think of it this way. Think about when you started to connect. This food works and that food does not. This is good for me. This one, I mean, even because I know you can't have avocado or there's a few things, right? So I would recommend for everybody to have avocado, but not Karen because it doesn't work for her, right? She and I've got other clients who are allergic to it or nuts or whatever. So it's not blanket statement stuff. It's specifics. It's getting into the specifics. And then what I would do is just like you've done with this. Am I getting enough vegetables? Have I done, lifted the weights today? Have I done all these different things? You do the same thing. My meditative practice. Have I journaled? Have I asked the right questions? Have I written these things out? Have I paid attention? Come on, Karen. High five myself for saying, no, this isn't working. And I'm going to do this instead and then do that instead and think that out loud. And also with your spouse, Karen, I would say, hey, if this is a thing, call me out, and be accountable so that you're not projecting that stuff, that you're taking that stuff to a place of a decent burial, I think that's what we all need to give some of this stuff a decent burial. Don't you agree? So that's what I have for you. And I sure hope 5 things to build. I don't know if I've got 5 things to build a new habit, but if you are in the whole place of daily doing your things and you have a daily set ritual, it will get richer. It will get more and more. It'll get bigger. Maybe do some of these exercises. Come to the, we're going to go through some of this stuff, a lot of this stuff actually on this negativity and how it takes hold of us and leaving that behind so that we can create those incredible, vibrant goals that we want to have in our lives and the life that we want to lead. That will be happening too. So make sure that you come to I know you have Saturdays can be a problem, but I sure hope you show up for the Creating a Vibrant 2022. It's going to be intense. So, one of the things I read just recently, and then I can't believe this whole show has gone for a whole hour, but I think it's important. You need to make a decision. Am I my biggest fan, or am I my biggest obstacle? Is my biggest obstacle self-doubt and negativity and put downs and this and anger? What are those obstacles about? And what are they about? I don't think that we can ever get to the place of just saying, I am going to rise above, the way I was raised, or this incident or that incident, or the trauma that happened when X, Y, and Z. We need to learn to live. And you remember when we did this from our last workshop, and that was, we learned about fear and how the fear fence, it's a fence, and it's something that is necessarily in everybody's lives, and it doesn't go away, but we can shrink it down to fit our lives in a way that we recognize it, we see it, we go, there's the fear fence again, big deal, and on we go on with our lives. Taking these things and shrinking them down into manageable bites. Sometimes these things don't go away, but we can overcome them with the greater good of who we are and what we're becoming, simply by staying in that lane a whole lot more than the other. I hope that makes sense. And two, remember, everyone, please hear me. Your life is a ticking time bomb. It's going to go off at some point. To not treat it like that, to not look at it as such, is to really just to say, I've got time and I'll do it then and I'll push it off. Our time is precious here on this earth. And you are called on purpose and for purpose. So therefore, it is absolutely contingent on you making a decision for you, pro you, and not put it off any longer. Your life is a ticking time bomb. Think about that. At the end, when it goes off, what do you want to do? My neighbor just lost her husband to ALS. We're going over there and on Monday to deliver some dinner and have a glass of wine with her. Life is short, very, very short. When we first moved in, he was getting over COVID, and now he's gone. It wasn't COVID, by the way. It was ALS that he passed away. But life is short. You don't know how much time you have. Therefore, getting on top of this so that you can have the most vibrant life ever, that's your job. Own it. Pinkies up. Peace be with you. I'll see you tomorrow, Saturday, for Soulful Saturday. Be there. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Check back for new episodes. If you missed the live show, you can always watch the replay. You can find Saving Dinner on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Until next time, pinkies up.